Commercial plot for Home Alone 5, Kevin Takes a Bride. Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin, is back, but now he's all grown up. All the other McAllister kids are grown up too. This Christmas, Kevin is not home alone anymore. Flashback. Christmas time 1990.
This house is so full of people. It makes me sick. When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone. Did you hear me? I'm living alone. I'm living alone.
Shouts 8-year-old Kevin as he jumps up and down in the hall. Because now he's got a wife and family, and this Christmas his 11-year-old son Mac gets left behind and is home alone. Harry and Marv are out of jail and back with a whole new big bad plan to break in and get the goods. Home Alone 5, Kevin Takes a Bride by Jamie Lynn Phillips, in memory of writer and producer John Hughes, 1950 to 2009. Opening sequence. Blue moon against black sky. Black house silhouette against black sky. The house resides into the background, getting smaller and smaller. Upper middle class home with snow and Christmas lights and the sounds of lots of children singing. Intent. McAllister House Night, Christmas Eve 2003. The McAllisters are eating dinner, and Kevin has big news. Intent. McAllister House Night. After dinner, when everyone is in the family room, Kevin says that him and his girlfriend are getting married. Intent. Upstairs hallway. As usual, Buzz is picking on Kevin. Kevin, you're the youngest. How come you get to get married first? Flimwad. I'm the oldest. I should be the one to get married first. Intent. McAllister House Day. Christmas morning. After breakfast, everyone is getting ready to open presents. Kevin brings his girlfriend over to meet the family. Exit. Trinity Methodist Church Day, August 24th, 2004. Kevin's wedding day. All of the McAllisters are in the wedding. Kevin's brother Buzz is the best man. His brother Jeff is groomman number 1. His oldest cousin Rod is groomman number 2. His sister Megan is the maid of honor. His sister Lenny and 3 oldest cousins, Heather, Brooke, and Sandra, are bridesmaids. Youngest cousins, Tracy is the flower girl. Fuller is the ring bearer. Intent. McAllister House Night, Christmas Eve 2004. After dinner, Kevin says that he's having a baby. His mother says, "Wow, aren't you a little young to have a baby? That's cool. Do you know what it is yet?" asks Megan. "Yes, it's a boy," answers Kevin. Family room night. Buzz is jealous that Kevin got married and is having a baby before him. "You're too young to get married and have a baby. I bet you won't even be a good father." Trout sniffer. Kevin tells him to shut up. Extent. Kevin's house in New York night. 11 years later, December 14th, 2015. Kevin's family flies to Chicago to see his parents. Intent. McAllister House Day. Mac's 3-year-old twin sisters are going through his room, jumping on his bed, and they are both getting on his nerves. He wishes he could just have a few days alone. "Hey, what are you guys doing? Get out of my room, Dad." Mac slams the door. After Kevin calms down the girls and gets him in bed, he goes back to Mac's room, and Mac tells him that he is sick of them bothering him all the time and he wants to be left alone. Intent. Murphy's House Night. Mac meets Mitch's son, John, and they switch each other's coats and hats. Then Mac gives John his luggage and a radio. Intent. McAllister House Day. The next morning, when Kevin's parents wake up and start screaming, "We're late again," Mac called John on the radio and tells him to get dressed with his hat and coat, take his luggage outside, hide behind one of the vans, and wait for the McAllisters to come out and line up for head count. Then make sure that he is counted. Then get in the vans with them. Exit. O'Hare Airport Day. When they get to the airport, follow the McAllisters through the airport and go in the restroom just before they pass security check. Then, when the coast is clear, use the radio to call me back and I'll send a limo to pick you up. Intent, McAllister House Day. When John gets back to Mac's house, they hang out until Mitch calls him home for dinner. Then Mac started decorating his house for the holidays. McAllister House Night. Harry and Marv are back. Harry and Marv are checking out the house, and Harry wants to get back at Kevin for all the things that he had done to them. Harry thinks the McAllisters are out of town, but he doesn't know that Kevin's son is home alone. And while they are checking out the house, they see Mac and find out he is home alone, so they decide to break in and get him instead of Kevin. Here we are again, 671 Moss crowbars up. Hey Harry, how are you gonna do this? Front or back? Mac hears them talking outside. Harry looks in the window, sees Mac. Hey Marv, I got an idea. There's a kid in the house. I think he's Kevin's son. Well then let's give up now. If he's Kevin's son, then he's probably as smart as Kevin, and he'll have the house all booby-trapped with tricks and a smart plan or something. I don't care. It doesn't matter anymore. All I want to do is get back at Kevin McAllister. So let's get the kid instead. We'll come back at 9 o'clock. Extant, Hawaii, morning. When the McAllisters get to Hawaii, they don't know Mac is missing yet. Extant, McAllister's house night. The plan. Mac found Kevin's old battle plan map in the attic. He decides to make a new plan to get Harry and Marv when they come back. But he likes some of the tricks on there, including the big famous paint can swinging from the stairs trick. He uses that one with his new plan. Original quote from Kevin: "When those guys come back, I'll be ready," says Mac. Intent, Hawaii Day. When the McAllisters get back to the hotel, everyone goes to their rooms to get ready for the beach. Kevin's brother Jeff, Matthew, has the same bag as Mac, and they got switched. But he doesn't know they got switched and that Mac isn't there yet, because Matthew wore his swimsuit on the plane. Do you have some sunblock? Because I forgot mine, he asks Buzz's son, Christopher. Yes, says Christopher. Come on, let's go to the beach, says Matthew. Exit, McAllister House Night. Mac sets the sprinklers in the front yard to go off at 9 p.m., soaking the driveway with kerosene. Then he ties the electric cord to the stair railings, plugs it in with the lights, with a tripwire connected to firecracker fuses so it blows up the driveway with a big cloud of smoke. Exit, Hawaii Beach Day. Peter says it's getting late. Come on everyone, let's get washed up for dinner. When the McAllisters get back to their rooms, they still don't know that Mac is missing yet. While everyone washed up and got ready, Matthew took a nap. At dinner, Jeff asked him, "Why do you still have your suit on?" Matthew said, "I fell asleep and took a nap." Intent, McAllister House Dining Room Night. Mac tips a china cabinet on his sled in the dining room. Then he pulls the string through the sled, ties it to the door hinges, so when they open the door, the sled will pull out and the cabinet will fall on them. Intent, Kitchen Night. Mac ties a string through the back door hinges through the cabinets around the sink and the counter, then connects it to a toaster which is tipped on its side and plugged in. When they open the door, the toaster pops up and a freezer bag filled with hot rocks will shoot out at them. Then he takes a pair of pliers, unscrews the faucet cap and the hot and cold knobs on the sink so the water sprays in their faces when they try to wash off the paint. After that, Mac thinks they might need to rest because they'll be all wet from the sink, so he leaves a note on the table that reads fresh, ice-cold eggnog and warm cookies, but the eggnog is spiked with citric acid and hot sauce cocktail. Intent: Hawaii hotel night. After dinner, the McAllisters go to Peter's suite to watch a movie, and they still do not know that Mac is not there yet because Matthew fell asleep again, and he slept in Peter's suite because he was so tired. Intent: Upstairs hallway night. Mac ties the paint cans to the stair railings that are filled with kerosene and exploding paintball paint with M80 fuse on the handles. So when he swings them down, the paint explodes all over Harry and Marv. Then they drink the eggnog cocktail and pass out. When they come to, Harry says, "Let's come back tomorrow to get the kid." Intent: Hawaii hotel day. When Matthew finally goes back to his room the next morning, he notices the bags got switched and he tries to switch them back. But Mac isn't in the room and he screams for Uncle Kevin. Intent: McAllister house night. Original quote from Kevin. Mac says, "I'm up here, come and get me before I call the cops." And then he swings the paint cans at them. Harry and Marv drink the eggnog and it is too strong, it knocks them out, so they decide to leave. But Harry plans on coming back the next day. Intent: Hawaii hotel night. Kevin says Mac is missing. Oh no, I hope he's not home alone. And then Kristen calls the police, and the police call Chicago police and airport security. But they can't find him anywhere. And Matthew and Christopher have a dream that Mac is home alone. Two guys are trying to break into the house, so everyone packs their bags and goes to the airport. But only one ticket to Chicago. All flights are full, so Kevin says, "What? Okay, I'll take it." Kevin takes the ticket and goes home. Intent: McAllister house night. Harry and Marv are back, and Mac is ready for them again, with more tricks and bigger traps. But Harry still isn't satisfied, and he says that he will come back the next day to finish off Mac. Intent: McAllister house day. Christmas morning. Kevin comes back home and calls for Mac. Mac comes running down the stairs screaming "Dad," gives him a big hug. Then he tells them about Harry and Marv, how they're planning to come back that night. "Dad, there's two guys called Harry and Marv, and they were trying to break in, and I found your map in the attic. I made a new plan. They left, but Harry said he's coming back tonight." Mac, "Do you want to know a new trick?" "Yeah," Mac answers. Kevin says, "Okay, let's make a new plan. I have an idea. I'll call the police, so when Harry and Marv come back, the police will have a sting set up to catch them in crime." Exit McAllister house night. They decide to make a new plan together. Kevin calls the police and they set up the sting to watch the house, so when Harry and Marv come back, they catch him in crime. Intent: McAllister house night. Peter, Kate, Kristen, and the rest of the McAllister clan get home just in time for dinner on Christmas Day. Intent: family room night. After dinner, Peter asks Kevin what happened. He answers, "The same thing that happened to me when I was 8 years old." Then he tells the story of the first Home Alone as they sit by the warm fireplace with cocoa and cookies. The end.